Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about the Me Too hashtag that's been spread around like wildfire online lately. Twitter, Facebook, and even YouTube have all been bombarded with hashtag Me Too posts. This whole thing started just over a week ago when actress Alyssa Milano became Harvey Weinstein's most vocal critic. You know, that weird, creepy pervert who just got kicked out of Hollywood. Milano rightfully lambasted him for his sexual misconduct quite publicly on Twitter and in the news too.
I'm not sure, and I don't know if I will ever publicly share my story. Of course, I've done my own healing and been through counseling and have a great support system in my life.
And things really came to a head when she tweeted this about a week ago. If you've been sexually harassed or assaulted, write Me Too as a reply to this tweet. A tweet that's currently gotten 68,000 replies and 24,000 retweets. Wow, that shit's got legs. Milano sparked a whole new internet trend. Every girl and her mother started coming out with abuse stories after this. And sure, at face value, this appears to be a noble cause. Let's join together and speak out against sexual abuse. Who could argue with that? So everyone's getting behind this, but there is a dark side to everything.
Hello from the dark side. I must have killed all the Jedi.
What started out as women sharing real stories about getting groped or even raped quickly devolved into every girl who's ever been catcalled joining in. And I think there's a big difference there. Sure, catcalling and verbal abuse can be hurtful and psychologically damaging, but to put them on the same level as rape victims is quite ridiculous. Now let's look at some sample tweets so you can see what I'm talking about. First, we got a BuzzFeed staffer from the UK, Hannah Othman. She wrote this: "Just now, man came and stood on the same fucking step as me, on the down escalator, made a kissy noise, said, 'Where are you going?' Hashtag Me Too." Oh God, the humanity! Oh my God! How could anyone survive a kissy noise? And he said, "Where are you going?" What an animal! That's totally sexual harassment that's on par with abuse and rape. No way this looks like a petty overreaction by some dumb chick from BuzzFeed. But really, what gets me about these kind of chicks is they want to act like they're these strong, independent, free-thinking people. But if a guy flirts with them in public, they freak out and cry rape like little pussies. And they just go along with whatever trend is going around online, like this Me Too one, without even questioning it. This doesn't make a lick of sense to me. Next, we got this girl Tacker, who wrote, "I was taught to scream fire instead of rape, because the chances of someone coming to help me were much higher. Think about that. Hashtag Me Too." Okay, I'm thinking about it, but you're not gonna like my conclusion. The reason fire is a more effective cry for help than rape, because women have falsely cried rape so many times, it's become a joke. Ever heard of the boy who cried wolf? Ever seen any of those videos where girls cried rape at cops to try and get out of trouble?
No, I'm not.
Take the bag off.
No, I'm not.
They're not your...
Hey, you're raping me. This is rape. This is rape. This is rape.
Couple that with all the false rape allegations going around lately, like Mattress Girl and the like, and yeah, people are becoming more and more skeptical of rape claims, as they should be. Next, we got a former BuzzFeeder, Allison Raskin, making a return to our show with this pretty epic story on her Twitter. It's in a pic attached to the tweet. It reads, "I'm terrified of lying or exaggerating. That's why I didn't know what to do when I saw women writing Me Too. I wanted to join them in solidarity, but I've never been raped. I've never been assaulted. How can I write Me Too when I consider myself so lucky? I started thinking, does harassment count? Does feeling unsafe at night count? Does that one incident on a bus in college count when it was so fast and the guy was just pretending to fuck me as a joke? Sure, my married stand-up teacher tried to kiss me in my car, but I stopped it. I was lucky. I am lucky. Inappropriate texts from a male cleaner who has been inside my house are nothing compared to what friends have gone through. But then I think about the fear that men will never understand. The fear that is always in the back of my mind. The fear that I will one day, without a second thought, be able to write Me Too. That fear is what ties us all together, and it is the hardest thing to fight." Sounds like someone really wants to be a victim, huh? And instead of just tapping out of this trend, Allison still felt the need to post this crap. "Yeah, you're afraid of getting raped. We're all afraid of getting raped, Allison. People are afraid of getting hurt and victimized and stolen from and all that stuff. You're literally talking about a basic human emotion. It's survival out there." In a way though, I am glad she did make this long thing, this long picture post, because it is a good look into the mind of a woman here. here. I bet lots of other non-victim women feel like Allison. They're feeling the need to jump on this bandwagon so much that they feel guilty for not being a victim. It's kind of fucked up. Feeling guilty for not being raped? What world am I living in? And I'm willing to bet other girls won't be as restrained as Allison is here. I'm sure many are exaggerating their stories to get in on this Me Too shit. Some are probably even lying. You gotta get those victim points any way you can, you know? Lastly, we got another BuzzFeeder, the notoriously unfunny Ashley Perez, who tweeted this gem: "In a world literally birthed by women and inseminated by men, there is no respect for our bodies or freedom to exist in peace. Hashtag Me Too." Her tweet also continues in an attached picture. The pic reads, "When I was 18, a Swiss man in an Italian nightclub pinned me against a wall, groped and fingered me. I was drinking, so I somehow felt it was my fault." Well, Ashley, I hate to break it to you, honey, but it somehow was your fault. Unfortunately. I'm sorry it happened to you, of course, and I'm not saying this is okay, and I will commend you here for having the first actual abuse story in this video, but I do have some caveats. For starters, what the hell is an 18-year-old doing drinking in an Italian nightclub? I know the drinking age is 18 in Europe, but that doesn't make it right. They also have communists and socialists over there, but we're not doing that. And when you're 18, you definitely shouldn't be drinking in nightclubs either. What the fuck? What kind of parents let their kid do this shit? This is very much the parents' fault and Ashley's fault somewhat too. Sure, that guy was an asshole, and the blame is mostly on him, but to say it wasn't your fault at all is fucking ridiculous. You put yourself in a risky situation that you clearly weren't ready for. If you were ready to go out clubbing, you would have been able to defend yourself here, or at least gone with friends who could. Now, I know this sounds like victim blaming, and in a way it is, but that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes the victim deserves some blame, and yet dum-dums like Ashley think they can do no wrong. They think rape victims aren't culpable for anything. Ashley probably thinks women are perfect and have no culpability at all. She is a lefty retard who works at BuzzFeed, so personal responsibility is a bit taboo for their kind. But you know what? I think it's time girls like this start waking up to the real world. If you're an 18-year-old girl who's getting drunk in a European nightclub, that's playing with fire right there. It's like poking a bear with a stick and then taking no responsibility when it mauls your face off. I always think about this when I hear about motorcycle accidents. I'm not saying anyone deserves an injury or death, but if you ride those things long enough, it's bound to happen. That and every biker I see in LA drives like a fucking maniac, splitting lanes, swerving in between cars, running lights. So when one of those guys crashes, it kind of makes sense. It's not always their fault, but they kept putting themselves at risk over and over again. It was just a matter of time. And I think many girls may do this too, with going out and drinking too much and hanging out with Italians and Swiss guys. Ashley goes on with her bullcrap, but nothing tops her easily avoidable finger banging in Italy. Just some guy yelling rude comments at her, which I guess is equivalent to rape now to these wannabe victims.
You're raping me. This is rape. This is rape. This is rape.
In the end, people like Ashley and Allison and Hannah, who all worked at BuzzFeed and have basic white girl names by the way, they're all so desperate to hop onto this Me Too trend, it's pretty disgusting. The only one with a real abuse story is Ashley, who could have easily avoided it by staying away from sketchy Italian nightclubs. Or her parents should have stopped her from going to Italy altogether. If I ever have a girl, God forbid, I'll never let her drink before 21, and there's no way I'm letting her go out into nightclubs in Europe. I probably won't let her go to Europe at all.
Euro trash. I like that. It is indeed a garbage continent.
Anyway, these girls were just too tempted by the potential victim points here. Victimhood is in high demand nowadays, and it really shouldn't be. But you can see why it is though. Victims are praised, put on pedestals, and they can never do any wrong. There's zero self-responsibility once you become a victim, so I can see why brain-dead ditzes like these want to become them. That and they obviously love the attention. The last thing I'll say is, not all abuse is the same. Let's try and reserve this Me Too stuff to actual rape and physical assault victims, and not just every chick who's gotten hit on by a guy they don't like. Because that's really what catcalling is. Girls getting pursued by guys they don't like. If the guys approaching them were fit, handsome, or rich, they would just call that innocent flirting. Ugly guys or losers do the same thing and it becomes fucking rape somehow. And what's the point of all this Me Too stuff if no one's gonna name names? Call out your attackers if you're really getting attacked. Report people to the authorities if they hurt you, because otherwise this is just words. No action. All talk and no walk. And I know vapid windbags at BuzzFeed like to blow smoke up each other's asses, but I don't. Except for that one time in college, and that was just me experimenting. Unless this Me Too shit turns into some real world action, I say it's all for nothing. Nothing but girls cosplaying as rape victims to try and get attention and retweets and IG likes. It's a gross exploitation of abuse, assault, and rape that really needs to stop. What do you guys think? Does the Me Too hashtag have any merit, or is it just another liberal influence bandwagon issue? Comment your thoughts below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. See y'all next time. One more thing, I want to give a special thanks to these amazing Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. You guys went above and beyond the rest, and I love you so much for it. If anyone else wants to donate or join our Patreon crew, link in the description. Thanks again.
Hey,